and welcome to this discussion on your IPO future with Creative First. Our guest today is National Award winning film producer, entrepreneur, and founder of Planet Marathi Group, Akshay Bardapurkar. He began his career in events and then ventured into celebrity management. And in his illustrious career, he has produced the critically acclaimed film AB Ani CD featuring Amitabh Bachchan and Vikram Gokhale, including the National Award winning film Goshta Ek Paithanichi. He has been creating a large, thriving space for strong female talent. Be it web or cinema, his stories have set new benchmark in the industry for women. These include the gritty political thriller Ran Bazaar, which has trended in 7 countries globally, Chandramukhi, and the experimental musical Tamasha Live. His passion for Marathi content has helped promote the genre extensively across the country. Akshay, welcome to this discussion.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Loita. Thank you for having me on board here.
You've had an interesting career trajectory which has spanned so many roles. Tell us about your journey in this industry and especially your tryst with Marathi content. And I would like to add here, growing up, we used to have the privilege, in fact, even in the good old DD days, to watch a lot of Marathi content.
Yeah.
But the genre has always been a great storytelling space, and just want to understand your journey to promote this genre.
Okay. My journey is pretty exciting because I was into celebrity management, and I realized that any event that has a celebrity is basically where the money lies at that point in time. And we thought that it is always better to manage a celebrity than managing the entire whole of the event, because then it requires a lot of setup, and it requires a lot of manpower and a lot of time in executing. So I thought, what is that main ingredient which is required or people look out for in an event, and that is a celebrity. So which is why I got into, from event management, I got into celebrity management. And I continue doing that. And when I say celebrity management, it was mostly the singing talent. So I have worked with I think every single Hindi celebrity singer who we see on television today. All of them. So, and I got a global exposure by traveling with them and understanding how the events takes place. So I've, at the age of early tender age of 24, I had traveled already. I had traveled about 40 countries, and post that, I've been continuously traveling. However, when I came back, or when after spending about 2-3 years into celebrity management, I thought that what I'm doing is something that is probably giving me the money, probably giving me the required fame, probably giving me the required luxury. But what I'm not satisfied is the fact that I am not been able to somewhere reach out to the people for that. I always feel that I'm meant to do something bigger. Okay. And what better way than promoting your own culture and your own talent and your own content. At that time, content wasn't known as content. I mean, I'm talking about the time, about say 2008, 2009. People were not, so people used to understand it like scripts and better scripts and this scripts and that script. Nobody knew that there is going to be a huge content rush, because nobody anticipated that something like an OTT is going to come in the future. So they used to make serials, they used to make films, they used to make dramas and everything, but nobody termed it or coined it as a content. Like in the early stages of event management, nobody called us an event manager. They used to call us a contractors. Okay. So similarly, content wasn't that much privy in the market. What happened was that when I thought that, when I compared the Marathi industry, when I compared the Marathi scale of making movies to the scale of what its sister industry is doing, that is Hindi, I thought, what is the so much of mismatch? You have the best of the technicians, you have the best of the writers, you have the best of the directors, you have best of every single, you have the best of the. I think we have had the best of actors also in, of names like Nana Patekar, Vikram Gokhale, Madhuri Dixit, and everyone. So leaving a few, barring a few, I thought there are so many actors who deserve so much better, but why they not being able to make a mark? No doubt, Hindi industry is dominated by specific two communities, and they also come with a lot of you know what do you call, a personality which is suitable for a hero or suitable for becoming an actress. It is a little northbound, and which is fair enough because India is a country specifically speaking Hindi language, so it's all fine. We are vernaculars, and when maybe vernaculars do not get that kind of a chance. Howsoever, how much ever beautiful you look or how much ever handsome you look, but still, you are vernacular. So we are not Hindi. Living in Mumbai, we are not Hindi. But however, the industry still runs, and industry runs on, according to me, about 60 to 70% Maharashtrians, and you have films like, the biggest of the films were made in Hindi, and the talent is all Maharashtrian. Okay, now I said, why is this happening? And this happens because we live in Mumbai, we live in Maharashtra, and we are so wanting to watch Hindi ourselves, including me, that we would first give preference to a Hindi film than a Marathi film. So somewhere down the line, I felt that we are being overshadowed by Hindi, and that is where you need to carve a niche out of this whole thing. You need to somehow, somewhere, we have good stories, we have better content, we have better actors, we have everything better, but we don't have the one thing that is, which is kind of, even today we are struggling to have that, in spite of doing so much of work. One is we will lack immensely on the stardom, and we lack on the factor that is called as, according to me, it is called as packaging and branding of a particular film. Because the film travels, and it travels if it is packaged very well. And if, why are we watching Pushpa today? Because it's traveling to us, right? Why are we watching, say, RRR or KGF? It's because it's traveling to us. Now, how do you travel? If someone makes, there are some 500 films which are made in Tamil Nadu or in Telugu or in other south languages, but why does only three of we only speak of three or four, right? We don't speak about the entire film industry, because those people know how to package it well. And when packaging means, Rajnikant probably, playing around with his cigarette, or Rajnikant could be, doing something. It could be a very glamorous actor like Allu Arjun, becoming a very becoming in a little, what do you call, um, in his personality, he becomes a little poor, and then that's the whole thing that they kind of make that hero turn into, so which is what happens is that when you do certain things, it that particular aspect of that film travels across, and which is what is, according to me, missing very, very much in the Marathi industry. And I thought what our focus should be is that we have to concentrate on making a good film. No doubt the film has to be good, but at the same time you have to package it well and brand it well. And this is where I come in, this is where my expertise comes in. And we decided to start a digital platform, not the OTT. We decided to start a digital platform called as Planet Marathi. Now, when we started Planet Marathi in 2017, we were relatively new. I was new. Nobody would come and give me money to promote their films. So I decided I'm going to make this platform a free platform. I'm not going to charge anyone anything. And for the betterment and for the good of the Marathi industry, I decided to promote all the films, all the culture, all the art related things free of cost on the platforms, on the social media. That includes Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And but then I thought I need to be a little different from people, and I need to be a different. How do I go to people and say that, look, I'm a little better off, this is the I can do better things for you. So what I did was I went to Twitter, and I proposed them that we should do something together, wherein we can escalate, or we can increase the your Maharashtrian's audience coming on Twitter. And what I'm going to do in turn is I'm going to create some chat shows, I'm going to create some review shows, I'm going to create some political shows, all of that. And that's how we got into a partnership. So this is technically the first ever partnership that happened between Twitter and any regional platform. I wasn't even a platform. I was in today's world, you could call me as an influencer at that point in time, or something very similar to a YouTuber, not a YouTuber myself, but somebody creating YouTube content. So calling it as a platform was not correct, but in my mind that it was always that we need to create a platform which has in its ecosystem, it should have everything, right from your streaming platform, from your talent, your own talent, from your own exhibition, on your own distribution, and your own ecosystem, which in a way completes the whole of the planet, right? The planet which has everything about Marathi. And that's how we decided that this was all there in my mind. This was all there, that we need to do something, we have to do our own marketing, we have to do our own branding. Everything was all set. And naturally, as an entrepreneur, as a startup, you don't have the kind of funds that you have in the initial stages, and whatever monies I had already put in. um, and we went very, very well with creating shows for Twitter at that point in time, and it was streamed very well. However, I realized that when we started doing Twitter, Facebook had changed their whole algorithm, and Facebook wanted to get into more, doing video stuff, right? And that's when we realized that we're not getting the kind of traction on Twitter, so we then switched onto Facebook and Insta. And so we created our base on the social media, and we started streaming all our content all on all these 3 4 platforms. Like everyone, I ran out of money. And then I thought that, how do you make money from now, because I'm doing everything free for the industry, and how do I make money? Because monetization from Facebook or Twitter anyways didn't monetize at that point in time. There was no monetization. The only the platform who used to monetize was YouTube, but we didn't have enough subscribers at that point in time, which could give us money. Also, the money, even if I got the money, it wouldn't have been sufficient enough for me to take care of my business. So I decided, I'll go back to doing, I'll keep the platform as it is. I'll keep promoting films and entertainment. But what I'm going to do is now get back to doing some you're known for, and that is, I felt that I think I should get into production. I got a good script. We instantly went to Amitabh Bachchan sir, and we kind of requested him. I said, we can't honestly afford you, but if you can come and be a part of the film for a small cameo. He instantly said yes to it. He liked the script. Vikram Gokhale sir, unfortunately, who passed away a month back, he also rang him, and he discussed, and he said that if it would be kind that if you can be a part of the film, and he agreed to it immediately. However, again, what it requires is requires a lot of money. A film of about 2.5 crore. A story happened that I was just going to produce the film, and the funding was to be done by somebody else. And as again, your journey of ups and downs is forever in your life, and something happened, and the investor backed out, and the whole of the burden came on me. The film was already announced, and then in those limited period, we had to go ahead and go on shoot, because we have already got the dates of Bachchan Saab. We managed to shoot it. We managed to finish the film. We managed to complete the film, and the film was brilliantly shot, and it was very well. The buzz was nice. We all set to release it. We announced the date. We got good partners. that's when I got myself introduced to our currently funded company, that is Vistas Media Capital. They funded AB and ECD, and we announced the date, and the beautiful day that we announced in as early as in January 2020, we announced that we will come in theaters on 13th of March, and we're all set. And the day the film released, that is exactly the day lockdown was announced. So it was so heartbreaking at that point in time, although it didn't feel as heartbreaking as it could sound now, because we thought that what is COVID? It is just something like a swine flu, will stay for a week, and then post that, it will just go away, and at the max what will happen is we'll release it after a week or a couple of weeks. And that didn't happen, because then Modi ji came on our television and he announced a nationwide lockdown and stuff like that. And then I don't need to tell you what happened after that. We managed to release it online digitally, but there was enough time available for us, and that is where this whole thing that started coming in my mind. I said, if Amazon could do something for me, a digital platform that could do something for me, I, in my capacity, I don't know. I said, if I can start maybe a small OTT, not the OTT that you're known today for, because we are really grown very, very big at the moment in our own standards and in the standards of Marathi world. We didn't anticipate that this kind of growth, mammoth growth, will happen, but we decided that we'll start something very small, very, very elite, but very specific, and not as large as this. And then we started studying the whole model of what is T ward, what is S ward, what is A ward, and all of that we studied. Me and my team, all of us, we studied, and we decided that we'll prepare a nice deck, and we'll prepare a nice proposal, and we'll take it across to the funds globally. And then on a one day we decided to talk to our partners who produced AB and CD with us, and they liked the idea, they liked the concepts, and they were trying to do something very similar. They said, it's better that you guys organize, you guys work on the company, and we will fund you. And that's where we first got funded by initially got funded for about $2 million, and then after a few days we got funded by about $3 million. So total of $5 million investment happened, and that's where Planet Marathi OTT was born. While that was happening, we were also doing films like Chandramukhi with our partners Vista. We also did a film called as Goshte Ka Paitanichi, for which we just now got an award, national award. So all this was happening at one go. Everything was going on well. What it gave me is, when everything was like down and dusted, and every every nook and corner of Mumbai and Maharashtra was all very, very sad, angry, deprived, unlucky, that sense of feeling of what's happening with us, losing money, no money. In that whole scenario, we kind of started growing, and because no one was doing anything, we were constantly being read by, seen by, heard by across people, and which is what gave us that flight that was required, because aaju baju mein kuch bhi nahi tha, and all that people were looking at was what is Planet Marathi,
Yes,
and
and I
that is
think
what
there's
we
a
could
lot of,
do.
you have to give credit to the resilience of, yourself, your leadership and the team. Getting into very specific questions, you spoke about movies traveling. You spoke about, the opportunity that online curated content platforms offer you, like
Yeah.
Amazon. Wanted to understand your take on a very, very growing surge of people consuming regional content. Of course, Marathi is consumed, but I do see people watching all sorts of languages, whether it's Indian languages, but also international. So what do you think really changed that? Do you think it was a lockdown?
No, I think, yeah, it was one was the lockdown, because see, again, it's not because of the lockdown, it is because the film were being heard, which means the film were traveling. My whole point is that, how does a film, a Malayalam film called as The Great Indian Kitchen, come into my drawing room or my bedroom? How did it reach to me? Because it was being heard, it was being told, and it was being carried forward, and from there it reached, from Kerala it reached to Maharashtra. Now, why did this happen? One, naturally the script was good. It has to be applauded, no doubts about it. But because there was, the engagement that happens over social media, the way it is being portrayed on social media, and the way it is being promoted on social media. So which is why I specifically say promotion is as big as doing a film. In fact, the promotion has to be thought over. When you go on floor, the day you go on floor, the promotion has to be thought. So according to me, language is not an issue at the moment. We watch anything and everything if you have the time, and if the word of mouth is good, if it reaches you. See, you have, like, when you're on an airplane, and you don't have the phone, you don't have anything, and you have a screen, you're doing a 16-hour of flight. How do you decide to watch which movie, right? You decide on maybe going on into the intro part and stuff like that. But somebody must have told you something, that, watch Great Indian Kitchen, or watch Ran Bazaar, and you haven't watched it. You go on an aircraft and you say, oh, Ran Bazaar, let me click, I want to watch it. That's because the film has traveled to me. It doesn't matter whether it is Hindi, English, Tamil, Telugu, anything. If today I'm being told that there is something called as, say, an RRR, I don't understand Telugu, but I still go and watch it, because it's come to me, it has reached me. And this happens only when you promote it very well. So according to me, the whole point of language doesn't exist anymore. What matters is, how much the content. And I'm going to come back to a few things later on. In I don't want to answer everything for a one question, but there is something called as, we talk about, is hyper local content.
Yeah.
What's happening in your backyard? What if a Gully Boys is being made, it speaks about Dharavi of Mumbai, the culture of Dharavi. That's as hyper local as you can get. You don't make a film on Mumbai anymore. You make a film on Shivaji Park. You make a film on, say, Mirzapur, or you make a film on some part of a Delhi. Okay, so we are doing things, we are creating content that's happening around us.
Moving on to a subject of intellectual property rights, copyright.
Yeah.
Could you tell us if you faced any kind of challenges with respect to copyright, or sometimes when you need derivative rights, for example?
Yeah. See, Marathi industry, mostly, according to me, is quite naive. Okay, Marathi, the entertainment world. What that means is that nobody, forget me, nobody even understood what IPs are. Okay, so if you're talking about, say, 10 or 15 years back, you would probably write as a Maharashtrian, probably as a somebody who's wrote a book, and you would say, okay, you want to make a film, no problem. How much? Give me 5-10,000 rupees, and that's about it. Nobody understood the value of that particular books. Now, after the emergence of OTT, when you see stories being made, that's when this whole IP thing has blown out of proportion. So if you're asking me challenges is, yes, somebody who, according to me, should charge not more than 2 or 3 lakh rupees is now demanding for about 20 lakh rupees. So financial challenges are there. With regards to copyrights and with regards to infringement of rights and all of that, um, we haven't really come across any of things except for one, when we were making Paitani, a film called Goshteka Paitanichi. That is when somebody called us and said, "This is something I have written," and stuff like that. But we had to convince, and we convinced, and that person backed off. So I haven't really faced any challenge, but the challenge is that it is exploding right now.
What about writing? Do you feel that, the Marathi cinema or the Marathi content needs more writers?
Mm,
And also, do you see people who primarily may be writing in Marathi, who are trained to even think that way, are now shifting towards other languages, more popular languages?
no, no. Um they're shifting. They see, when you write it for the sake of writing. You don't plan to write for a Telugu or a Tamil. You there's a germ, there's an idea, and you just write it. Or there's something is based on something, and then you write it. So I don't think the language comes in between, or the state comes in between. Um, do Maharashtra or Maharashtrian film industry require more writers? I think yes, simply because now that the writers are being noticed and being paid very heavily by the likes of Amazon and all the multinational OTTs, because there is no reason to write Marathi as Marathi, and you can write a script. You have an idea and you can write a script, or you develop a script. Uh, they would first go and bang or knock on the doors of Hindi and end up getting paid more than coming and talking to a Marathi OTT or a Marathi channel. So I think more. I don't know about the others. I don't know about what the others will do. What I have decided to do in the year 2023, I'm going to create a writers' room for ourselves. We're going to pay them X amount of money to sit in our office, and write stories for us and create IPs through that. That's going to be the gold. That's going to be the gold mine. That's going to be the treasure for us in the days to come. Because if writers starts behaving like the A-lister actors of Bollywood, then I think only the only the bigger platforms would be able to afford them. And I mean, not that we won't become bigger, but I think it's not worth to, in terms of when you make a web series, and when you make money from that, because not every web series is going to fetch you subscribers, right, or advertisers. So we have to keep our, I'm not saying we don't want to pay the writers. We want to pay the writers, because I personally believe that writers should grow in this country, but there has to be a cap.
Oh, and
And
also to be very clear, I think there's a difference between writing and creating an IP.
exactly.
So, if you can have an IP and you can hire writers to write, so there's a huge difference. And I think somewhere youngsters today need to realize that they have to start somewhere. I want to conclude by asking you two things. One, what is it that can be done to improve the infrastructure for the Marathi sector? The question emanates from the fact that Film City always had this huge vision. There was supposed to be a renovation and revamping. We've not seen anything in the past 6 years. And the second question is, what else can be done to increase education levels? Because if you look at Maharashtra as a state, there's so much of potential for people to come and become technicians in the industry. It's not just the actors, right? People who can become great directors, technicians, post-production artists, of course, writers. So, what do you think can be done? And I think that'll be very useful for, the youngsters watching this today.
I think, to speak about, um, when you ask me a specific question about Film City, I think, see, governments will come, governments will go. It's their job to refurbish and kind of, um, create the environment wherein you should be a proud state that we don't have to lose out on business and something like it travels to Madhya Pradesh. I've known some 10 people now traveling to Madhya Pradesh and shooting there. I personally want to see two things. One is a school for filmmaking, which includes everything, whatever you mentioned right now, right from your from your sound, lights, everything, talent, teaching how to write scripts and stuff like that. So there has to be a autonomous school of films, like how Whistling Wood is there. I think Whistling Wood is doing a fab job, but you need more Whistling Woods. You need more talent. You need more, people coming together and doing something for the industry, and not just for Marathi. I'm saying overall. So the answer to this is yes, we need a separate film city with the state of the art technology, so that we don't lose our business to other states or other countries. We should be self sufficient. We should be able to do ourselves. Atmanirbhar. This is what I feel. And secondly, I think a school of for filmmaking should be a part of our state at the moment.
It's been such a wonderful conversation, very insightful, and I'm very motivated by this whole concept of yours, which is Planet Marathi. From what I understand, it's just not about creating content, but actually building an ecosystem, which I think is a fantastic genre today. Marathi films and content are, known worldwide. So thank you so much for this discussion with us today.
Thank you very much.